Yeah, but the question then is, having seen what happened and where they say, well, they began the move, they didn't serve him, as we were told yesterday. Yes, we also saw that part of Section 188, where it also says if they're not able to come up with or satisfy the provisions, the process ceases immediately. But as it is now, we have them who are residents who have said, or lawmakers who are complaining that the police is not allowing them enter into the place. So in the circumstance, what should the ideal situation be?
You see, I'm a lawyer and I'm a professional. I won't behave like a politician. I'm not a politician on this set. You should not bother yourself or concern yourself with what politicians put across in the public domain. Because why A will say this, the other side will say something differently. They speak from both sides of their mouth. But we must concern or limit ourselves to the position of the Constitution as interpreted by the Supreme Court in various cases. Look, the procedure is not a tea party. And it's not something you will start within one day and finish within a week or two. No, because there are procedures for it. In fact, in the Constitution, either in the as it tells to the president or the governor, there are 10 different steps which must be followed before it could be successfully achieved. And I can itemize them. First one is by serving notice of allegations to be served, to be signed by not less than 1/3 of each member of the parliament concerned on the speaker, stating the allegations they have against the occupier of that office. And upon receipt of that notice of allegation, the speaker or the head of the parliament, because if it is at the federal level, it has to be the Senate president, we now serve upon the person the allegation was made against that notice, calling for and requesting for his response to that allegation. And that person, the occupier of that office, must respond within 14 days to that.
Mr. Joe, sorry to jump in. I understand what you're saying, and I know you want to at least give us an elaborate response to it, and we appreciate that. But if I could move on to revisit the question, which I'm trying to see if you get it, is that from the point of law, having seen what has happened, what is the appropriate scenario? What is the position of the law concerning how the assembly should proceed moving forward?
Are you referring to Imo or
No.
Benue?
I'm talking about Benue, because the scenario there is, there are two groups, and some of them are not able to sit, some are able to sit, some are saying, yes, we began the process, and then you taking us back to Section 188, which is itemizing the entire process that must be completed if they are supposed to achieve their purpose, whatever their purpose is. So as it is now, are the 8 or are the 12 or the 22, how should they proceed? The actions that the 8 say they've taken, does it automatically should it be regarded as though it never happened, and then they should all go ahead and continue with their proceedings howsoever they want it?
No, they should look at it. And it is very simple. They know the total number of members of that House of Assembly. Was the notice signed by 1/3 of the members? If it was signed by 1/3 of the entire members of that parliament, then they should move to the next step. They should proceed to the next step. But if it's not by 1/3 of members of the parliament, then the notice cannot be served on the governor. So it is clear. It's a matter of figure, and which must be related to the provision of the Constitution. As simple as that.
So in the case of Imo State, where the deputy governor was impeached, what relevant sections would you say, because you say that it's a long process to have any governor or even the deputy governor or even the president impeached, and you went ahead to try to go step by step. But the Imo State deputy governor, as we stand now, has been impeached. Did they go wrong at any point in time, considering the time which they got the process through?
No. If the Imo State deputy governor had been impeached by the Imo State of Assembly, either rightly or wrongly, the only option left for that deputy governor now is to go back to court to challenge, and he has a matter pending before the court already. And what he should do now, and he should be well advised by his lawyer, is to approach that court that, notwithstanding my action in court, and notwithstanding whether you grant injunction or not, but the matter was pending, please set aside this impeachment, which was made during the pendency of my action in court. We did that in another case. Honorable Justice Bolaji Yusuf, then of the State High Court, set aside the impeachment. It nullified it. He set aside this. The judge now of the Court of Appeal, one of the most forthright and most brilliant upright judges we have in this, or judges we have in this country, set that aside. Although that case was not tested up to the Supreme Court, it was the other matter, because there were several cases that proceeded to the Supreme Court. So, this will approach the court. But to me, it would be wrong after the impeachment for any court to grant an interpretation that they must not proceed to if the parliament has removed the deputy governor and it has been adopted by the resolution of 2/3 or majority of all the members of that parliament, did that been done, then the only option available to those who are aggrieved to the deputy governor is to go to court and say that, please set this aside, this wrongful and illegal impeachment, because I strongly, with due respect to the judge who made that order, although I'm not concerned with the fact, to say that they cannot proceed to swear in another deputy governor. But see, it can be set aside.